Arlington has won the Super 8 Massachusetts State Championship.
From the Kozlowski Gymnasium here on the campus of Arlington High School, ACMi Sports presents Arlington High School Boys Varsity Basketball. Tonight, the Spy Ponders of Arlington High School host the Marauders of Belmont High School. Hello everyone, I'm Don Phelan. Very happy to have my original broadcast partner from 34 seasons ago joining me here tonight, Steve DeCourcey. Steve, welcome back to the booth.
Thank you, Donald, and I have to thank ACMi. I think I have my original equipment here with me tonight. We're a little short-handed because hockey has a game as well, but it's great to be back, and hopefully Arlington can pull off an upset tonight. Yeah,
the Marauders come into tonight's record with tonight's game with an overall record of 17-1. They are 14-0 in the league. Spy Ponders are 11-5, 10-4 in the league. Right now, Arlington's doing a courteous thing because, Steve, tonight is senior night here at the Kozlowski Gymnasium, the final regular season home game for the seniors. So I think what the Arlington staff is doing is they're introducing the Belmont seniors right now, and then we'll have the introduction of the girls senior cheerleaders, and then the boys, and then the starting lineups, and then we'll be ready to play.
Yeah, it's always a nice night. I think when you're the visiting team, it's a nice gesture to recognize those seniors as well. And I saw Eileen McNamara handing out the flowers to the Belmont players. And
oh, nice. So right now we have the introduction of the senior cheerleaders, and of course they put a lot of time and effort into preparation for these games. And so we'd like to acknowledge them: Sophia Tiezzi, Jackie Adragna, Megan Mignanelli, Kara Smith, Alaya Hill, and Faith Griffin. There are 6 senior cheerleaders having their final home game here tonight, taking pictures with their family and friends as we get ready for tonight's action.
Our second senior.
And as we mentioned, Steve mentioned Arlington trying to avenge an earlier season game back on January 11th at Belmont High School. The Spy Ponders lost by a score of 77-54, probably their worst game of the season. A game that Arlington, just everything that could go Belmont's way did. Belmont is led by a really sensational player. Watch out for him. He's number 4, Danny Yardemian. He averages 23 points per game, and he is committed to Bentley. So he's an unbelievable player, and I guess he had it going that night, and Arlington couldn't get it going, and it was just a bad combination, led to an easy Belmont victory.
Yeah, and Yardemian eclipsed the 1,000-point mark earlier this season. He's had a great career for Belmont, and I think the challenge this year for Arlington, unlike other years where they could outscore opponents, they have to keep Belmont's total down tonight, and so that score is 77-54. Probably have to try to hold Belmont to 60, 62 points or less, and that's hard to do.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Pritch before the game. He said that Arlington usually is able to hold him down. We'll see if that's the case tonight, because that's certainly one of the keys to the victory for the Spy Ponders. Belmont 14-0 in league action, so with this game they'll have one more and have a chance to do, I believe, what Arlington did a couple seasons ago, and that is have an undefeated season in the Middlesex League. Quite an accomplishment if they were able to pull that off.
Yeah, and this is a tough league. You still have, in the Liberty side, you're away visiting every team, and then you split it on the other side of the league, and some are at home, some are away, but it's always competitive in the Middlesex League, so to go through it undefeated is a really strong accomplishment.
And the Spy Ponders are arguably in their toughest stretch of the season. The last home game, which I was unable to attend, they played a very scrappy Winchester team. And what's happening at this point in the season, not tonight for Belmont, because they're obviously in the tournament, they might be the number 1 overall seed, as a matter of fact. But you have teams that are fighting for their playoff lives, and that's what happened Friday against Winchester. Winchester was in a must-win situation. They scrapped, they clawed, and they came away with the victory. And that was Arlington's first home loss. They had a 51-game regular season home winning streak, and that was snapped last Friday by the Sachems of Winchester High School. And similarly, Arlington's next game, which I believe is Friday, at Reading. Reading sits right now, I believe, at 9-10. So they're going to be scrapping and clawing their way to try to get to 500 and get into the tournament. And then after that, Arlington plays in a very difficult tournament over at, I believe the tournament is in Lynn. It was at St. Mary's High School in Lynn. And Arlington, I know their first game is against Springfield Central, one of the toughest teams in the state. And then in the other bracket, St. Mary's obviously is one team. I'm not sure who the other team is, but very, very difficult tournament. And the Spy Ponders right in the middle of that tough stretch. So now we will have the introduction of the Arlington senior players.
They are a great role model for the present and future players and have forever left their imprints on our basketball program. They have truly raised the expectations of Arlington basketball. From everybody at Arlington High School, a special thank you for your dedication to the program, and go Ponders. And now, our boys basketball seniors. A 2-year varsity player and 2018 Middlesex League champion, Ilan Sanz Grant.
So the first senior to be introduced, number 5, Ilan Sanz Grant.
His parents said, so there are 2 members of this year's team that I actually coached Donald in middle school. So Ilan was one of them. He was one of the stars of our middle school team. A real smart, great defensive player, and happy to see him make the strides he did up on the varsity level.
Second senior introduced is number 35, Jelani Joshua.
In addition to Arlington High School, Jelani was a Hardy School graduate, a classmate of my son Mark's. So known him for a long time.
Yeah, it's too bad they didn't have this happen the other way towards our cameras. They're doing a good job taking pictures there, but it'd be nice if they were facing this way. Right. Here's Will Clifford, number 4.
And Will's the second player I had. That's his father, Bruce Clifford, going out there with them for the picture. Older brother Peter was on the team a few years ago.
Yeah, an interesting story with Will. We mentioned my last home telecast was Will coming back this season. We had been told at the beginning of the season that we might not see him due to a collarbone injury, which I'm not sure is entirely healed, but he's playing, and good to see him back in the lineup.
A 3-year varsity player in 2017-2018 Middlesex League champion, Joey Pazia.
And now we have number 21, Joey Pazia.
His parents and his brother Dom. Joey is another graduate of the Hardy Schools. Pretty good. Might have been able to give Stratton a game.
I don't know about that. His brother Dom also played here for the Spy Ponders. If only there was a better picture taker. Mr. McNamara.
Jay McNamara on the camera tonight. Hopefully he's taking a couple for every.
He's getting a lot of film up. He's happy that they're taking the pictures this way because he's getting all kinds of camera time here from ACMi. Number 23, Stephen McGilvery. And interestingly enough, a couple of small tidbits, I guess, for each player was his grandfather, Don Brown, right? He came up to the booth a couple weeks ago, reintroduced himself, and we started talking about old war stories about playing pickup ball here in the back of the high school back in the day. His grandfather, I said, outstanding basketball player. Little physical, little dirty for my liking. Okay, Don, don't hold it against me. And I believe a former Arlington police officer.
Yeah, Arlington police officer. And I had the same conversations with him. He had sharp elbows. That's what I heard.
He's a great guy.
Stevens had a great year, and then, of course, he had a great football career. And I was talking with his mother, Rochelle. He's going to Endicott College next year to play football.
Go Gulls. Good for him. Here's number 24, Sam Swift. Of course, Sam has been a key component of this year's team with three-point shooting, rebounding. You know, Arlington doesn't have a lot of size this year, so oftentimes Sam listed as a guard, but he's had to do some battles down low and some helping out on the rebounding and some great three-point shooting as well.
Play a number of different roles, and he'll be going to WPI next year.
2018 Middlesex League champion, Captain Nick Corrales.
So now we come to the, actually Sam Swift, of course, was one of the tri-captains, and now we have one of the other tri-captains, Nick Corrales, number 0.
Yeah, Nick and his mother Julie going out there with them, and just a nice story. He got hurt in the state championship game for soccer, and fought his way back and has been back in the lineup for a long time. But just a hard worker, great athlete. And I first coached him when he was 6 years old in baseball.
Oh, wow. And as you mentioned, both there might be others too, but I know both him and Will were on that team that made a run to the state championship. So congratulations to them. And now we have the final senior, the final tri-captain, number 14, James Gascoigne.
Father Jim and Sister Erica.
And of course, there's a lot to be said about James. I believe that since my last broadcast, which was about 2 weeks ago, James did eclipse the 1,000 point mark for his career. Another great stat about James was when we talked about that loss against Winchester last Friday night. That was his first regular season home loss in his career. So pretty impressive career for James Gascoigne.
Yeah, amazing.
And that's probably true of Nick too, but James was a 4-year player.
Well, exactly. He was playing regularly as a freshman, and he got the 1,000 point up in Lexington. Okay. And I know there was a good turnout from the student section that night because they knew he was on the verge of scoring 1,000 points.
So he'll be on that banner sometime soon, joining the likes of Miles Robinson and Brandon Castro, Brian Emerson, Phil Barlow, I believe, are the boys' representatives on that 1,000 point banner, and James will be up there soon.
Thank you.
And the season goes by so quickly, Donald. I mean, all of a sudden, you're in December, January, next thing you know, you're at senior night.
Visiting Belmont.
And now senior night festivities are over. I'm sure the people who least appreciate that are the two men who will be calling tonight's game, Dave Engelson and Trey Lewis. They were all ready to referee the game, and then they held up for 10 minutes or so with senior night. But I'm sure they'll be ready to go. And now we have the introduction of tonight's starting lineups. For Belmont, number 3, Ben Siraji. Number 4, Danny Ardinian. Number 20, Daniel Sarardinian. 25, Tim Minakazi, and number 34, Mac Ennis. And again, the player to watch for Belmont is Danny Ardinian. Head coach of the Marauders is Adam Pritchard. He is in his 19th season as the coach of the Marauders. And I think we've talked about this before. I think the coach that preceded Coach Pritchard was also there for a lengthy amount of time. They probably only had 2 coaches over the last 40 years or so, I believe. Unless there was someone.
Coach Lyons was
Coach Lyons.
before.
I don't know if there was someone in between them.
Okay.
But it could have been, but I don't think so. I think it went right from Coach Lyons to Coach Pritchard. So it's almost like the Pittsburgh Steelers of the Middlesex League. And Arlington will go with their usual starting 5 of number 0, Nick Corrales, number 1, Brendan McNamara, number 14, James Gascoigne, number 23, Stephen McGilvery, number 24, Sam Swift. So Arlington starting 4 of their 8 graduating seniors here tonight. Head coach of the Ponders in his 11th season is John Bowler. He's assisted by Jackie Woods. And the head of basketball operations for the Spy Ponders is Tim Schuler. And now we have the playing of our national anthem.
The Middlesex League dispatched a veteran crew here tonight, Donald, two of the stronger teams in the Middlesex League.
Absolutely. Veteran Dave Engelson will be the head referee and assisted by Trey Lewis, we just mentioned. And as we get ready for tonight's action from the Kozlowski Gymnasium, the Ponders and the Marauders.
This is the ACMi high school basketball with all the great play-by-play. Here's Don Phelan.
Thank you, Stephen. And a special thank you to Alex Van Dong, cameraman tonight, and he had to do a lot of juggling to bring us this broadcast and the girls' game to follow with the unexpected snow. It caused a lot of scheduling conflicts for him because hockey, both boys and girls, are also playing tonight. So he's here tonight working hard for us, and we appreciate him tonight. First possession of the night results in a backcourt violation committed by the Marauders.
And a big game for hockey. They're playing Winchester, and Arlington wins that. I believe they may clinch first place in the Middlesex League Liberty Division for hockey.
And a probable Super 8 appearance. Looking like man-to-man defense by Belmont. Brendan McNamara going to take the pull-up three. Looks like it's going to be long. In and out, no. Rebound fought for. Corrals comes up to it, but Gascoigne was the one that kept it alive.
A real good screen by James Gascoigne, too, to free up Brendan McNamara for that shot.
Arlington with a high post type offense here. Everybody really within the foul line. McGilvery, of course, they got a new shot clock at Arlington on that previous miss. McNamara's going to take another three. No, dumps it into Gascoigne. Little turnaround flow to no. Belmont with the rebound. Old school weave play here by the Marauders, resulting in a three-point attempt that is no good. There's Sam Swift with the rebound.
Take that all night, Donald, if that's...
Absolutely. That was Mac Annis with the shot. Now, good defense by Belmont. Break for the Ponders as the official was there and could not get out of the way, but Arlington unable to come up with another ball is knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Arlington. It will be Belmont. Also, the bad pass by Arlington almost resulted in a free possession, but neither team has scored here. Played a minute 41. Arlington had trouble scoring against Winchester. I believe they were held to 6 first quarter and 17 in the half. Nice little pull-up jump shot there is good. That's number 20, Daniel Saradarian, and he has the first point.
Yeah, nice looking shot there by Saradarian.
Ooh, Swift looked like he might have got away with a walk there. Gascoigne for three. No good. So Belmont with the rebound. Yeah, Demian strong to the hole, flips it up and in.
Good job there, avoiding the Gascoigne on his way to the basket.
Yeah, Demian with his first basket of the evening, and the Marauders lead at 4-0. Now good defense by Belmont results in a turnover, and now it's going to be a held ball. Possession now should be Arlington's, I believe, as Belmont won the tap.
Sam Swift getting his hands in there, good job, and it's always had tough spot for guard. Nick was just over the half-court line, and then the double team came.
And that half-court line serving as a third defender there. Belmont's coming out with a little, looks like the old Apache. 1-2-1.
1-2-2, right?
1-2-2, 1-2-1-1. Corrales. And now Arlington will reset and Belmont settles back in on man-to-man. 9 on the shot clock. McNamara to the basket, lays it in.
Right there.
First points of the evening for the Spy Ponders belong to Brendan McNamara, and the Ponders trail at 4-2. 3 minutes played here in the first quarter. Pull-up jump shot there, not getting the friendly roll was Saradarian. And now fouls committed as Arlington looked like they were going to lose that, but foul committed. Get number 3, Ben Sarawaji on the foul, his first on the team. Now steal by Sarawaji in a subsequent lay-in.
Yeah, a little too easy. I don't think Nick realized that Sarawaji was right there, and he just, that the cross-court pass is so dangerous.
Yeah, I think Sarawaji had a little bit more vertical than maybe Nick anticipated. Right. Good play by him. Belmont leads at 6-2 almost halfway through the first quarter. Well, Gascoigne denied on the entry pass. 8 on the shot clock. Gascoigne on the post, takes a little turnaround off the window, doesn't get the love. Tough break there.
Yeah, a little too hard off the glass.
Looked like it was going to go down. Illusion.
And 1, it's
Saradarian count the basket. He'll have the chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, Coach Bowler taking a timeout. Good timeout there. It's just not the start that you want.
Spy Ponders find themselves trailing 8-2, 3:49 remaining first quarter. Of course, this game being played here on Wednesday night due to the snowstorm rescheduled from Tuesday night. And like we mentioned in the beginning of the broadcast, Arlington in the midst of a very, very difficult stretch here of games. And this might be the most difficult one of them all.
It's tough. I mean, on the one hand, it gets you ready for tournament play, but on the other, you want to have a little momentum going into postseason as well. So it's tonight's a tough one, but let's see what happens.
Yeah, you know, Steve, the other thing, too, is you don't get, of course, this is a league game, so nothing to be said about that. But Arlington, their final 2 games, playing in that tournament at St. Mary's, they're going to play 2 really difficult teams. And they're probably, you know, the odds of them winning those games are going to be tough, to be quite honest with you. And the thing about those is that basketball, unlike some of the other sports, it's seeded strictly by record. So every loss also knocks Arlington down the chain in terms of home games and seeding and who they might play at a particular time. And that's a dangerous slope as well.
Right. And then you get on that bubble of, do you have a home game to start the tournament or not? And a few more losses, they'll be on that line.
They will, for sure. Saradarian completes the 3-point play. Yeah, Arlington at 11-5 right now. Say they were to lose their last 4, they're 11-9. They're barely a 500 team record-wise, and they don't get the credit for playing those tough games. They played in another tough tournament early in the season too, during the holidays. So Spy Ponders find themselves down 9-2. Gascoigne, who thought he was going to beat his man left, did not. He's just going to need to hit some outside shots tonight. Now here's Gascoigne, open underneath, and he lays it in.
Good power move there too. Take that one dribble, go up strong.
James has his first basket of the evening. The Spy Ponders now trail 9-4 with 3:14 remaining first quarter. A good penetration there led to an open 3-point shot, and that's Tim Minakazi for 3.
And that's so effective. The guard gets into the paint, draws some help, and kicks it back out for the wide open 3.
Yeah, especially that guy. I believe it was Ardemian on the drive, and he's going to draw the attention due to the fact that he scores 23 points a game. Gascoigne baseline jumper is good. Now we've seen James do that in other games, try to take a few outside shots early on to try to open things up down low later, and he's hit a couple, one from short range and one from a little bit longer. Excuse me, one from was a layup. Good defense there by Swift to deny the baseline drive. Now the ball's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Arlington ball.
Good defensive possession there. Good work.
Belmont 12, Arlington 6. Belmont changes up the press a little bit here. More of a man-to-man. With deep help. Yeah, they disguised that well. It may have turned out to be more of a zone type of press, actually. Either way, it's causing Arlington a little bit of trouble getting the ball up over the timeline. Now they settle into their offense, only 7 on the shot clock. Gascoigne made his move. Defensive player fell down. I don't know if he was trying to pick up the call there or not, but you know, next thing you know, James was wide open for an easy shot.
Good call, good non-call by the official in my view. James is comfortable in the block as we've seen throughout his career, and particularly tonight.
That's 12-8 Belmont. They pull up jump shot there. Difficult shot. Good defense by Arlington. Arlington's crawled their way back into this game. They trailed by as many as 8, I believe. Now they're down 4 with the ball and a minute and a half to go first quarter. Shot clock. McNamara pull-up jump shot. No, they're going to call the foul before the shot, a reach-in foul against Belmont. And if I'm Belmont, I'm probably happy about that call. Save the basket.
Right, and clearly for high school and college, that's before the shot. In the NBA, I think he'd be at the line with an and one.
Now for Belmont, number 32, Preston Jackson Stevens into the lineup. Arlington, of course, with a new shot clock. That foul was committed by Siraji, his second. Belmont with only 2 team fouls. He has both of them, so he has gone to the bench and replaced by Jackson Stevens. 3-point shot. McNamara is no good, just off the mark. Arlington's had a couple of those tonight. And Swift takes the charge. Great job, Tim Swift. Demian had in his mind that he was going all the way to the basket, and you could see it from our vantage point up here. Swift getting the position, taking that charge.
Just waited for him, and a little surprised he didn't recognize that before he got to Sam.
That's a go. 1-2-2. Again, Arlington needing 8 or almost 9 seconds to get it over the division line. So by the time they settle into their offense, they've already used half the shot clock. Gascoigne, tough shot there, floats it up around it, out. McGilvery fought for the rebound, couldn't come up with it. Shot clock is off. Belmont can hold for the final shot. Ooh. Kick out pass there. Wide open 3 is short. Belmont did not hold for the final shot. Yeah. Arlington now can. All right, not a bad shot there by Siradarian. He was open, but you probably want to take that shot a little bit later in the clock. 6 in the quarter. Corrales for 3. No. Rebound Belmont. The last second shot will be thrown up. From our vantage point, looked a lot closer than it ended up being.
Oh boy, when it left his hand, I didn't think it was close at all, but it got on the backboard.
So at the end of the first quarter, it's Belmont 12 and Arlington 8. And right now you have a look at the Arlington High School cheerleading squad performing here between quarters. You mentioned the seniors as they were honored on senior night. Sophia Tiezzi, Jackie Adragna, Megan Mignanelli, Kara Smith, Elia Hill, Faith Griffin. The juniors, Antonia Delarusso, Molly Hankinson, Sarah Sanasuaso. Sophomores, Sophie Mincello, Vivian Ruiz, Cami Patterson, Eleanor Krigsman, Ava Morales, and one freshman on the squad is Amanda Johnson. Back in the day, we called this the Maroon Squad, right, Steve, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, Gray was football and hockey, and Maroon was soccer and basketball.
And now I think each sport has their own. Well, I don't think soccer has cheerleading anymore. It's probably just basketball, football, and hockey still have cheerleaders?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I always, it was good that back then that they had the activities for the girls to do that, but kind of difficult for hockey cheerleaders. You can, obviously, you're in the stands and you can need some chairs and stuff, but basketball and football allow the girls the opportunity to perform what you just saw.
At the start of the second quarter, good hustle there by Nick Corrales, denying the inbounds pass.
Great defense again by Arlington, and Marauders turn it over. So both quarters, Belmont opened with the ball and opened with a turnover.
Well, and since the timeout by Coach Bowler, Arlington has clawed back into this game, and you look at it ahead of time, you can live with a 12-point quarter defensively.
Right. Sure.
What they gave up.
McGilvery fakes, puts it up, powers it in. Stephen McGilvery with his first bucket of the game, and he cuts the Belmont lead down to 2. Corrales went for the steal, didn't get it. And now a big 3-point shot there by Jackson Stevens. There's a big answer by Preston Jackson Stevens right there. Arlington got it as close to 2. It's now 5. About a minute played here in the second quarter. McNamara for 3. He answers.
Nice answer there, right back.
Matching threes by Preston Jackson Stevens for the Marauders and Brendan McNamara for the Spy Ponders. And Belmont went for another 3. Rebound fought for another 3-point shot in the corner. This one also no good by Annis. Loose change pick up there by Yardemian.
Yeah, good tip there by Jackson Stevens to Yardemian.
Arlington again finds themselves down by 4. Gascoigne baseline. He's going to come up under. No, but he'll go to the line for 2. I believe it's going to go on Jake Herlihy. He had checked into the Belmont lineup during the first and second quarter intermission. His first, 4th on the team. Arlington with only 1 team foul so far. And James Gascoigne at the line for 2. His first free throw rolls around and out. First substitutions of the evening for the Spy Ponders, number 20, Philip Cherry Jr., and number 35, Jelani Joshua Tech into the Arlington lineup, replacing Stephen McGilvery and Sam Swift. 1 of 2 for the tri-captain. He has 7 on the game so far, and the Spy Ponders trail 17-14, 6:28 to go, second quarter.
And I think, Donald, thus far that the pace suits Arlington.
Absolutely. Pull-up jump shot there by Ademian, no. Joshua with the rebound, almost had it stolen. Now the ball is loose, and Arlington unable to convert on that possession. Tough break there. Good defense by Belmont causes a couple of difficult passes. Coming up on the 6-minute mark remaining in the second quarter, and Arlington trailing by 3. Could hear Coach Jackie Woods from up here yelling for the travel. Didn't get it, but an empty possession for the Marauders, so no harm, no foul there for the Ponders. They have the ball down by 3. Speaking of Coach Jackie Woods, his junior varsity team won again tonight. Improved to a record of 13-3. Despite the coaching of Coach Woods, this team is now 13-3. 8 on the shot clock. Joshua, foul line, takes it strong to the hole and lays it in.
Oh, and
count the basket. He'll go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play. I saw the referee make the signal, referee Dave Engelson. I couldn't hear the whistle up here, but he clearly made the foul signal, and Joshua will go to the line with a chance to tie this game.
And I think he really surprised Belmont there. It's of course, he's just into the game, and they didn't view him as a threat from the foul line, but boy, he made a nice quick move to the basket.
5:18 remaining second quarter. Joshua ties the game.
And that foul, Donald, significant too, because it sends Jake Herlihy to the bench with a second foul for Belmont.
And now it also forces Coach Pritchett to take his first time out. So timeout Belmont here, and we're tied at 17 with 5:11 to go in the half. I believe at one point Arlington trailed 12-4. So they've gone on a 13-5 run here. Arlington High math, I think that's right.
I'm just going to check it.
Carry the
we'll
one.
Accept that.
Take the one. Okay, yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. Stratton School math. Best elementary school in the town still, from what I understand. Although the only member of my family currently in Arlington, my nephew goes to Hardy School, I believe.
Yeah, so I've got to be careful now between my...
Is that the one? That's the one your kids went to, right?
Yeah. My kids went to Hardy. I went to Dallin. Wow. Mary went to Bishop, so
we know how,
anything but Stratton.
We know how I feel about Dallin. The only one I have actual animosity towards.
I think on the back. I know Sam Swift is a graduate of the Dallin School. I don't know if there's any others.
I'm not sure where any of these guys went to elementary school. All I know is we won 2 town championships back in my day. 1 out of 2 in flag football.
Yeah, who won the other one?
I believe that was a Dallin victory on a botched, missed extra point snap back in the day. Now back to live action here. Good play here by Belmont out of the timeout.
Go there, yeah. Well, they've been running that earlier in the game and haven't been threatening the basket, and that time they did.
Sirawaji with the hoop. He has 4. Now Sirawaji playing with 2 fouls. To see him pick up a third, that was the big difference when he wasn't in the game. That's when Arlington made their run. And here he is again, going up and left. Blocked by Joshua. Oh, I thought it was an easy 2 for Sirawaji, and Joshua said no thank you. And a great thing he did too, Steve, he kept it in bounds on the block.
How many times do you see a block where it's swatted out of bounds and the other team keeps the ball? Great block.
So some significant time here by Joshua. I think that pass, Nate, was it deflected? It was. Yeah, I didn't think it just slipped out of his hands. It was deflected out of bounds. It'll be Arlington ball. Sam Swift back into the lineup, replacing Philip Cherry Jr. So it's Gascoigne, Swift, Joshua, McNamara, and Corrales the 5 for the Ponders. It's 19-17, approaching the halfway point of the second quarter. Arlington with only 4 seconds left in the shot clock. Here goes Joshua again, a little spin move, fakes it up, no! And he is fouled on the play, and he'll go back to the line. And a foul is committed by number 32, Preston Jackson Stevens, his first, but Steve the 6th on the team, so Arlington will be in the bonus for the duration of the half. Arlington having committed only 1 team foul so far. Quite the opposite of what we've seen in many games this year. Arlington usually the more aggressive defensive team racking up the fouls. And that will afford Arlington to be as aggressive as they want to for the final 4:07 without the risk of Belmont going to the line.
That's right. Yeah, and speaking of fouls now, I heard this from some parents.
Swift
the game against Winchester, a lot of fouls down the stretch they felt went against Arlington that maybe shouldn't have been called.
Yeah, but Arlington probably, the thing that cost them that game was a slow start offensively. McNair 3, no. Looks like Sarawaji was ahead of the pack. He said Yardemian going to take a little pull-up, may have dragged the pivot. They say no. He can't get the short jump or the fall. And again, Arlington has done a great job on Yardemian so far. He's been held to 4 of Belmont's 19 points. And that's what Coach Pritchett had indicated to me before the game, that Arlington usually does a good job against his star player. Again, going to Bentley College next year. Maybe Bentley University now.
Yes, it is. Yeah, another BU.
Not even in the final this year, the Beanpot Stevie. Gascoigne, little flip shot, and he gets the roll. Gascoigne with 9 of Arlington's 19, and we are tied at 19 with 3:05 remaining in the half. Damian fakes the 3. There's going to be a 3-point shot from the corner by Annis. No good. Annis looks to the official as if he got fouled on that shot. Arlington with a chance to take the lead.
Good shot there. And one thing, Damian didn't get the ball to Annis as quickly as Annis probably would have liked, and allowed the defense to rotate over.
Good closeout. Corrales for the lead. No. And now we're going to have a rebounding foul. It's going to go against Arlington. I think it's going to be against Jelani Joshua. Nope, check that. It's going to go against James Gascoigne. He picks up his first, second on the team. So Arlington unable to take advantage of that opportunity to take the lead.
It looked good when it left his hands, too. We had a good angle on that shot. It was right on line, just a little bit long.
Oh, check that. For James Gascoigne, that's his second foul. So the only 2 fouls of the half. I just assumed it was his first because Arlington only had 1 up to that point, but James has both of Arlington's first half fouls. And he's going to go to the bench. I'm sure he's going to go to the bench for the duration of the half. Coach Bowler would not want to see him pick up a 3rd here in the first half, so it's Joey Pazia. Now Joshua does a great job taking the shot, doesn't get the call. Play continues. Joshua with the rebound, and now a rebounding foul will be committed against Belmont, and Arlington will go to the line, and Coach Pritchett is livid.
Well, the thing is that that's an offensive that probably wasn't called, so it's hard to get too upset.
It was a pretty big crash there. Usually you're going to see something on that one way or the other. And Coach Pritchett indicating that he felt that the Arlington player moved and turned, and having a nice discussion about it.
Or he may have been looking for a block there, Donald. The play, the only thing I could see, Belmont players in the air at that point. And
Jelani unable to hit the front end of the one. There's Joey Pazia with an offensive rebound, and he kicks it out, and Arlington can reset the offense.
Big rebound.
Ooh, Belmont should be careful defensively with a little reach in there. Arlington in the bonus. Good officiating that time by the officials. Dave Engelson went to the spot of the court where he really shouldn't be on free throws, but he went over there to talk to the coach, calm him down, and the officials adjusted their positioning. Joshua, no, but he'll go back to the line. And that'll be team foul number 8 against the Marauders, and I believe it will be the second against Preston Jackson Stevens. Now let's see if Jelani can convert. He's 1 of 4. That's significant minutes for the senior, and he hits the first one, and Arlington takes the lead.
There's been a real presence offensively in the paint.
He hits them both. Jelani Joshua with 5 first half points. Arlington goes to the 1-3-1 here. Half-court trap. 1:50 to go, second quarter. Ponders by 2. Arlington stays in the zone. 3-point shot in the corner. Way off the mark. But there's Saruji with the rebound for the Mars. Now that did not hit the rim, so Belmont did not get a new shot clock. They're down to 5. And the Belmont player wide open underneath the basket. They don't see him. He has to throw it up. That's a shot clock violation. Didn't hit the rim. And Coach Bowler very excited with his team right now. Great defensive possession there for the Spy Ponders. And now Coach Pritchard, I think he maybe wanted to let Danny Ardemian rest for the duration of the half, but now he sees his team down by 2 with 1:25 to go. He's brought his senior captain back into the game.
Well, with Jackson Stevens having 2 fouls, too, you wanted to get him off the court.
Yep. 1-2-2 now by Belmont. Arlington again using a lot of time to get it over the division line. Morales does so now. Now he's going to be in trouble with a double team here. Gets it to Swift. McNamara open for a moment. Good recovery by Belmont defensively. 10 seconds on the shot clock, coming up on the final minute of the quarter. 5 on the shot clock. Morales takes the 3. No. Belmont ball down 2 with 54 seconds to go. Ardemian, baseline. Oh, a little push off there.
Yeah, good call. Offensive.
Great call.
Led with the forearm there.
Yeah, Tim Manicosi had the forearm extended, and he gets called for a player control foul. Of course, a non-shooting foul, but possession Arlington, and now Arlington will be in the double bonus for the duration of the half. Only 48 seconds to go. But any foul from here on in will result in 2 shots for Arlington. Two to get it over, they do. I don't know if I ever recall a game where I've seen a team consistently using 6, 7, 8, 9 seconds to get it over, but 10 seconds is a lot of time, and so Arlington's done a nice job of using the time they have. Now they have 5 on the shot clock. McNamara gets beheaded, and he'll go to the line for 2. Well, I'm sure this is the kind of game that Coach Pritchard's going to look up at the scoreboard and see 10 fouls against his team and 2 against Arlington and not like it. But I think it's been a well-officiated game. I think all 10 of Belmont's fouls clearly deserved. Now, whether there's been a couple more that could have been called in Arlington, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. But if we had a shot chart up here, Arlington's taking the ball into the paint.
Right. Yeah, right. Belmont's settling for a lot of 3s. McNamara hits the first free throw. Brendan hits both free throws, and the Ponders lead by 4. Shot clock is off. 20 seconds to go, first half. 23-19 Arlington. Ball's tipped by Nick. Belmont comes up. This would be a nice stop here for Arlington to go into the half up 4. 5 to go. Ardemian shoots the jump shot. No. Corrales with the rebound. He's just going to hold on to it. And that's the way the first half will end.
Great first half for Arlington.
So the Spy Ponders hold Belmont to 7 second quarter points. They scored 15 of their own, and they go to the half with the lead. The score at the end of the first half: Arlington 23, Belmont 19. Steve and I will be back with the second half action.
You are watching ACMi Sports' coverage of Arlington basketball. Where would you rather be than right here and right now?
And getting ready for second half action, Don Phelan joined by the original broadcast partners from 34 seasons ago, Steve DeCourcey. And Steve, if you're Coach Bowler and you're seeing a 23-19 score at the half, you have to be very, very pleased.
Oh, I think you have to be thrilled. I mean, we were talking about maybe trying to keep Belmont under 60 points. Now, of course, they'll probably score more in the second half, but they're on a pace for only 40 points. I mean, that's fantastic.
Belmont had 12 at the quarter, so Arlington held them to 7 second quarter points and flipped the score. Arlington down by 4 at the end of 1 and up by 4 at the half. So we'll see what adjustments both teams make. And Steve, another important point is the play of Jelani Joshua in the first half.
Yeah, he came in and like I said earlier on in the game, I think he caught Belmont off guard. He attacked the basket, and he's got good size, and he's been looking for offense. So he's played real well, and then he had that great block down the other end and kept the ball in play.
The only negative for Arlington, I think, in the first half is the fact that James Gascoigne picked up foul number 2 with about 2 minutes left. Be very interesting to see what happens should he pick up a quick one here in the third. He's got to be careful here.
He's got to be real careful, and the thing is that second fouls on the offensive end, too, on an offensive rebound, you got to try to avoid those.
Arlington with their starting 5 of number 0, Nick Corrales, number 1, Brendan McNamara, number 23, Sam Swift, number 24, Sam Swift, number 23, Stephen McGilvery with the ball there, and number 14, James Gascoigne. There's Gascoigne, baseline, he's going to take the pull-up, tough shot, no. Rebound by Demian. And Arlington did a great job on the senior Danny Demian, averaging 23 per game, held to 4 first half points. But there's the leading scorer for Belmont in the first half was Daniel Saradarian, and he hits a 3.
And you give him time. That's just got a great rotation on that shot.
Nick tried to dribble it through 3 Belmont players and unsuccessfully. Here's Demian, no. Rebound fought for, and I hope that's not on James. Hopefully Steve McGilvery, that's where Steve McGilvery should have his hand up and say, that's on me, rep, that's on me, rep. But either way, it's not going to work. James picks up foul number 3, and you could see on the rebounding action, he grabbed the arm of the Belmont player.
And that's the shame. And it's not so much that foul, Donald. It's the second one at the end of the first half that's putting him on the bench now.
So Jelani Josh was going to have to come in and produce like he did in the first half. He was an early candidate for the Big Bang Boom Award in the first half. Baseline drive by Demian, stolen by McNamara. Let's see if Arlington can push the numbers here. Here comes Brendan McNamara, 3-on-2. McNamara to the basket. He lays it up and in.
Just enough to get over the rim.
Great job by Brendan, just doing enough to avoid the defense. Annis for 3. No, now McGilvery, Swift, his arm is being held by a Belmont player, and they pick it up. And if it goes against number 3 for Belmont, Ben Surawaji, I think that's going to be his 3rd. Well, I don't know why Coach Pritchett is complaining about that. It looked like he's a Belmont player, whether it was that player or not. Looked like almost the exact same play as Gascoigne's, where they got tangled up and one player had another player's arm. There's Pritchett fighting for his player, but Surawaji picks up foul number 3. Gonna get it over.
Wow, we need someone to flash middle there. Yeah, now it's going to be a violation. Yeah, a little confusion there in terms of who's going to flash middle to get that ball, and the additional time caused the violation.
Don't like that call. Don't like that call. I'm going to tell you why. Okay. This isn't NCAA and this isn't pros. The visual clock, the 30-second clock, has nothing to do. The 10-second count is a visual and manual count by the trail official. And that trail official had his count going. The lead official, Dave Engelson, looks up at the shot clock on the opposite end of the court and sees a 20 on there as Arlington's making that pass to cross. If the trail official did not have a 10 on his manual count, it should not be a violation. It does not go by the clock.
And that's probably why they're talking about it right now.
Yep.
No, he's still going to give it to Belmont.
And I think that's one that they're going to sell and say, hey, look, you know what? When I look up and the whole crowd can look up and see a 20 on there, and Arlington Arlington plays basically where Nick Corrales is with the ball. So, I can understand why they went with that, but that's not actual letter of the law in Federation basketball. But good defense by Belmont. They probably deserved it. It might have been an actual 10 seconds, too. And the ball's knocked out of bounds. Because a lot of times referees, you do that 10 count, and you'd be surprised how off it can be. Sometimes it's 11 with one official, sometimes it's 9. But,
and it gets slower as you get to 10, right?
Right. You don't want to really have to call that when the ball's in the air and you look up and you see the 20. You don't want to be that fine about it. But good defense by Belmont, and there's a basket there by Minacuzzi.
You're going to get shots there against the zone, Donald. Just get into the area just below the foul line.
McNamara does a fine job there, dribbling through a lot of traffic. As you mentioned in the first half, Arlington was very patient getting back to that violation. Arlington had been very patient getting the ball over the division line, and that time they didn't get it done. 10 on the shot clock for Arlington. McNamara with the tricky dribble. Swift for 3. Ooh, no, just off. I don't know if Sam had taken a shot up to that point.
I think that was his first shot of the night.
Yeah. And 3 in the corner here is no good, and unfortunately Sam Swift on the closeout picks up the foul. There's that fine line when you're the closeout defender of how close you want to get without creating contact and getting called for the foul, and that time Sam got a little too close. His first, second on the team. And Daniel Saradarian unable to hit the first free throw. He's got a chance to tie it here. It's Arlington 25, Belmont 24, with 5:18 remaining in the third quarter. So Darian ties the game. Leading point scorer for the... Oh, it was a three-point shot. I'm sorry, folks. Yep, he's going to get three, and he'll have a chance to give Belmont their first lead of the second half. Unable to do that. He hits 1 of 3 only, and we're tied at 25. Coach Pritchett is going with Sirawaji, who has the 3 fouls, number 3 for Belmont. Whereas Coach Bowler elected to take James Gascoigne out when he picked up his third. I don't think James is going to be out too much longer. 5 in the shot clock. McGilvery pull-up jump shot. Back rim, no. Comes in for his own rebound. Flips it up. It scores.
Nice job there. And be careful. The shooter knows where the ball's going. He followed the shot nicely.
Arlington retakes the lead. 27-25. Demian just doesn't feel it tonight so far. Gets so loose down low. Misses a layup. But Pritchett thought there might have been some contact there.
Well, he's talking to the official. That never really helps.
Demian scoreless in the second half, only 4 for the game. A good defense there by Belmont, not allowing Brendan to take it to the right side there. 12 in the shot clock, Arlington by 2, coming up on the halfway point of the third quarter. 5 in the shot clock, McNamara baseline drive, take a tough pull-up jump shot, no. Joshua fights for the rebound, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Belmont, yes, should be Arlington ball.
Yes.
Demian unable to come up with that rebound, and ball went out of bounds off of him.
I thought he was bumped by Joshua, but normally you're not going to get that one either.
Nope. Arlington, Siraji with the steal. Oh, now a nice drive there. McGilvery went down, Swift went down a little too soon, I think, on that charge. He might have got that call if he took the contact for real. 3-point shot there is no good, and McGilvery with the rebound. Swift anticipated that contact.
No, he started backwards before the contact happened.
Could have been called for a block on that. McNamara, flip the way, he's going to be short. Joshua with the rebound, fakes, puts it up, had it blocked. Puts it up again, it scores!
Nice work there, just relentless on that offensive board.
Belmont back the other way, Arlington by 4, matching their high point lead of the game. Inside Siraji. Picks it in the corner for 3. No. And on a rebounding foul, it's going to go against Arlington, probably against Sam Swift.
Boy, a little surprised about that. Sam Swift had the inside position there, Donald.
Yeah, he must have pushed off before to get that position. His third on the team.
There it is, Nick.
Almost. He's got Nick ahead. Oh! Ooh. Oh, boy, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Again, we're playing Federation rules, everybody, so as long as the official feels like he made a play on the ball, there's no clear path. That rule doesn't exist in Federation basketball, so as long as the player makes a play on the ball, but that's the old smart foul there by Yardemian. His man's beat. He went for the swipe, got all shoulder. And sometimes, though, the official will eat that whistle just knowing that that player's got the advantage. So that's a tough one for the official, but technically the correct call. Nice job by Trey Lewis. Arlington by 4, under 3 minutes now remaining in the third quarter. I don't know what Belmont's season low for points is, but it might be threatened tonight. Now checking into the game is Elon Symes-Grant. Nick with a beautiful move to the basket, lays it in. Wow, Nick Corrales, maybe one of his best offensive shots I've seen in a while. And Arlington now leads by 6. Ball knocked out of bounds by Swift. It will remain Belmont ball.
Nice job hanging in the air there by Nick Corrales and squaring up for the shot, too.
31-25 Arlington. 2:27 remaining. Third quarter. Steal by Arlington. 2-on-1 break. McNamara fakes it. Lefty. Count the basket. And Brendan McNamara will go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play.
Well, and that may be number 4. on number 3 for Belmont.
If it was on number 3, which I think it was, Surawaji, and it's his 4th. And in the first half, if you remember, Arlington made one of their runs when he was on the bench. He's a kind of a calming presence for Belmont. He scored 4 points, but he also does a bulk of the ball handling chores. And now McNamara will go to the line with a chance to give Arlington a 9-point lead, and he does just that. Sarawaji has to come out of the Belmont lineup, and he's replaced by number 21, Jake Hurley. He gave us these sheets with Belmont's roster, and can't even read them. Coming up on the final 2 minutes, 3-point hit. And again, we saw Preston Jackson Stevens do that in the first half.
Big
and he's
hoop
done
there
it
for Belmont.
just
They
again.
really needed those 3 points.
Now a little mix-up in the middle of the court there with Yardemian and Swift. Arlington by 6. Big 3-point basket there. Preston Jackson Stevens inside to Joshua. He fakes. He goes to the hole, loses it. The line signs Grant, hits the floor.
Travel.
He'll be called for travel. Shot clock is winding down anyway. Arlington, not a great offensive possession there. Now we have number 4, Will Clifford, checking into the lineup, and he replaces Nick Corrales.
With 1:33 left in the quarter, Nick needs a break. And Will Clifford's going to give you good defense.
Exactly. Arlington goes to the zone. Give Nick some time to get some water and a break. And actually now Belmont takes the timeout. Now I wonder if Coach Bowler will think about that, where Nick's going to be able to get this time during the timeout, if he'll put him back in defensively, or if he's just going to let Nick sit out this final minute 22 and really get him rested for the 4th quarter.
I'm guessing for the 4th quarter. So, Donald, over the years, I've always talked after the second Monday in February about a certain college team winning the Bean Pie. I can't do that anymore with the men based on their play lately. However, for the first time since 1981, the BU women's team took home a Bean Pie. So for the first time in our history together, I'm congratulating the women's team for a Bean Pie.
If this is what it's come to.
That's what it's come to for BU hockey.
It's kind of like Notre Dame basketball, I guess. Get the women now to bail us out. But that was the tradition back in the day, and most second Mondays in February, your team was at least in it. And I believe Northeastern were back-to-back, right?
That's right.
And they hadn't won it in a number of years before last year, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right, since 1985.
Wow. And they beat Harvard in the final? Or BC?
BC.
Well,
I'm sorry to
that's fine.
see that score.
We're okay with that.
All right, back to live action.
Minute 14 to go, 3rd quarter. Ponders by 6. 3-point shot by Yardemian, around and out. And that's a worst-case scenario for him. Now, the Arlington player, Arlington got a break there, I think. Is Sam Swift the player involved in the jump ball? Or was it Jelani Joshua? Because Swift was out of bounds. But anyway, I think they're going to go with the held ball. Wait a second. Why is this? Is there a shot there? No, I'm a little confused. I didn't pay attention because there is a shot clock reset. Belmont ball. Oh, nice move there. Oh, wow. Tim Minikazi. Beautiful floater. That's his 7th point. Now the Arlington lead is 4. 50 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. On the shot clock. They go inside to Joshua. Swift fakes. Floats. No. Joshua with another rebound. He's going to go up strong. No. Rebound by Belmont. Shot clock is off. Belmont can hold for a final shot should they desire. They trail by 4. 22 seconds to go. Jackson Stevens for 3. No. Yardemian with the follow. No. Another follow. No. That last one will not count. And that will be the end of the 3rd quarter. The score at the end of the third quarter is Arlington 34 and Belmont 30. And again, you'll get a look between quarters here at the Arlington High School cheerleading squad. Again, a quick rundown of these hardworking young ladies. Seniors Sophia Tiezzi, Jackie Adragna, Megan Mignanelli, Kara Smith, Elia Hill, Faith Griffin. Of course, they're performing for the final time here at the Kozlowski Gymnasium as seniors. The juniors are Antonio Della Russo, Molly Hankinson, Sarah Santasuaso. The sophomores are Sophie Mincello, Vivian Ruiz, Cami Patterson, Eleanor Krigsman, and Ava Morales, and freshman Amanda Johnson. So again, ladies, thank you very much. And for you seniors performing here for the final time, best of luck to you in your future endeavors.
Well, third quarter, Arlington maintained that 4-point lead. It's 23-19 at the half, 34-30 going into the fourth quarter, and James Gascoigne back into the Arlington lineup, and I think even with the 3 fouls, Coach Bowler was able to rest him or keep him on the bench probably longer than he anticipated, but it didn't hurt the team.
No, with the play of Jelani Joshua here tonight, he was afforded that luxury. If you remember, James picked up that foul at the, I think it was the 7:07 mark remaining in the third quarter, and he did not come back in, so he should be well rested, and he still has 2 fouls he can play with. And, again, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that Arlington lost at Belmont back on January 11th by 23 points. So being up here by 4 at home, let's see if they can close it out. Gascoigne inside, he hits. So Gascoigne comes in and makes an immediate impact. He has 11 on the evening. He and McNamara with 12. 3-point shot there, and finally getting it going. Here's Danny Yardemian with the 3.
And a timeout by Arlington, and I think the call there by Sam Swift. We're getting close to that 5-second mark.
So that's a big basket there for Yardemian, Steve. At the tail end of the third quarter, he took a 3 that went around and out, and at that point he had only had 4 points. And now you have an in and out on a 3-pointer, and you could just say maybe this is not going to be his night. But now by hitting that 3, we'll see if he explodes here in the fourth quarter. Arlington has to be careful of that.
Well, and the thing is, he hasn't had a good shooting night. However, you still have to respect his shot, and he's left wide open there.
Yep, he's probably capable of scoring 10, 12 points in any given quarter, and I'm sure he's a focal point of the Arlington defense. Each team now has taken 2 timeouts, so plenty of timeouts remaining for both teams. Arlington leads it by 3, 36-33, with 7:15 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
Nice to see Donald Palmer, Arlington great Kevin Flood in the stands tonight, coming on to root on Arlington High School.
Never turned down a shot back in the day. I tell you, it's one good thing about these girl-boy doubleheaders is it does make for a nice little turnover crowd, if you will. The fans for the girls' game are filing in. Of course, the game started a little bit late because of the senior festivities, and so now you have almost a packed stands here in front of us.
And then my daughter was here earlier in her career. They didn't have it. Then her senior year they did. And both teams like it.
Nice nice pass to Gascoigne, and he powers it in. 2 more for James. He's got 4 here in the first minute of the fourth quarter and 13 on the night.
Real nice play there by Sam Swift.
Little underhand shuffle pass. He's Yardemian for 3. And again, Steve, you mentioned it. You can't leave him that open. Back-to-back 3s for the Bentley's-bound senior, Danny Yardemian.
Yeah, a little deeper there too, but that's a spot he likes.
So now we're seeing flashes of a 23-point-per-game player right there. Arlington trading 2 for 3 the last couple possessions, so they've seen their lead dwindle down to 2, 38-36. McNamara with a little spin shot off the window, and he gets it to go.
And Gascoigne sealed off the defender too. He was going to come through. He stopped when he saw Brendan had his man beat.
40-36 Ponders with 6 minutes remaining. Yardemian's going to try even a deeper 3.
They got to do something. That's
3 in a row. Danny Yardemian, and again, so what's killing Arlington too is they're getting good baskets themselves, but they're going 2 for 3 and losing a point on each alternate possession, if you will. They go inside to McGilvery. Ball's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Belmont. It will remain Arlington ball. .536 remaining fourth quarter. Arlington by 1. team has committed 3 team fouls, so neither team close to being in the penalty. Inside to McGilvery. McGilvery fakes, kicks it back out. 10 on the shot clock. Arlington with their starting 5 in there right now. McNamara, tricky dribbles. Swift for 3. Just a little bit short. Rebound Farfall. Gascoigne hit the deck, couldn't come up with it. Here comes Jackson Stevens, and he lays it in. Jackson Stevens gives Belmont the lead, 41-40. So Belmont has come alive here in this fourth quarter. They have scored 11 in the first 3 after scoring only 30 for the first 3 quarters. McGilvery down low, little lefty spin shot, and he gives Arlington the lead.
Yeah, and again, the fact that Stephen McGilvery is a lefty, I think sometimes that confuses defenders. They're not expecting him to go that way. And nice move right to the middle of the paint there for the basket.
Well, we've seen that a couple times this year, man, when that guy has just taken some tough shots in some key situations, and he's done it again, and he gives Arlington the lead. And Coach Bowler elects to take a timeout here. We've seen that many times over the years with Coach Bowler, that certain situations in the game after a made basket, he likes to take a timeout, give his guys a little bit of a rest, maybe change something defensively, and he does this with a 1-point lead and under 5 minutes to go. Well, as we mentioned, this is senior night. This is our final home game here tonight. Well, home regular season game anyway. Arlington finishes with 3 road games. Next game is at Reading, another league game, and then a tournament at St. Mary's at the during the school vacation week before tournament time. Hoping that Arlington gets at least 1 home game for the tournament.
It would be nice because it's such a great atmosphere here when they're hosting a tournament game.
Arlington will back off a little bit defensive. It looks like they're going to set something up half-court wise. Zone by Anthony Ademian from the other side.
Leave him. And you know, Nick Rouse didn't leave him too long with just that split second.
If Arlington was in some kind of matchup zone, but they may have to think about just getting somebody on a man-to-man, as he has erupted for 12 fourth-quarter points, 4 for 4 3-point shooting, and now we're seeing why he is Bentley bound. McNamara short jump shot on the baseline, no good. Arlington down by 2, coming up on the halfway point of the fourth quarter. Now Ademian's able to go to the basket.
Foul on James Gascoigne.
Gascoigne hip checks him into the wall. Good foul by James. Unfortunately, it's his 4th, but he had to. And here's the thing: Ademian's hit all these threes, and now that time he just takes it to the hole. And he's going to the line a little bit gingerly. He took a pretty good shot there from James. And it looks like Coach Bowler's going to go to Jelani Joshua, at least for a couple minutes here. Try to buy some time for James Gascoigne. Ademian hits the first free throw. $17 for Danny Ademian. Make it 18.
Yeah, and 16 points already for Belmont in this quarter.
46-42 Marauders. Under 4 minutes remaining, fourth quarter. I bet you at this point, maybe Coach Bowl will do a little offense-defense with Gascoigne and Joshua, at least as much as he can. And now,
wow,
the basket. Brendan McNamara on the baseline floats it in, and he'll go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play.
And Coach Pritchard's upset about that, but at the same time, everybody disappeared from Brendan McNamara when he stopped his dribble.
Yeah, McNamara kept on playing, and he floated it in. I think that Belmont people are looking for a travel.
Play the whistle.
Play the whistle. McNamara completes the 3-point play. He has 17 on the game, and all of a sudden, Arlington just trails by just that 1 point now, 46-45. On the shot clock for the Marauders. They lead by 1. Now Nick's up on Ademian, so Ademian goes to the hole, floats it up, no contact there. Officials let him play on. Good job by Belmont playing on. Did that shot hit the rim? Again.
Jackson Stevens, he's hit big threes for Belmont all night.
He has 3 3-pointers on the night, 11 points in the game, and each one of them seems like it's been of the back-breaking variety as the Marauders now lead by 4, coming up on 3 minutes remaining in the ballgame. Joshua recoils, can't get it to go.
Coach Bowler wanted a foul there. Furious with the official.
Yeah, that was a big possession, and if he was fouled, that's a big non-call. Down by 4, now Belmont with the ball. Can he hit another one? No. Swift with the rebound. Pond is down 4, coming up on 2.5 minutes remaining, fourth quarter. Arlington needs a whistle to get James Gascoigne back into the game.
They shouldn't have taken the time out there.
Steal by Demian. He goes to the basket.
Yep.
He's fouled on the play. We have non-shooting foul. It will be Belmont ball. Arlington commits team foul number 5 with 2:18 remaining in the fourth quarter. Arlington will be able to get James Gascoigne back into the lineup, and Coach Bull is going to stay with Jelani Joshua, and it's going to be Stephen McGilvery who Gascoigne replaces. So Belmont ball, and they lead by 4.
Full shot clock too. So oh, nice play there.
Steal by Joshua. And the Ponders with a chance to cut into that lead. Need a hoop here. Gascoigne trying to get the position inside. Instead, McNamara's going to take a long
Whoa!
And he hits! Brendan McNamara for 3. And the Ponders trail by 1 with 2 minutes remaining in the game. See if Arlington can get a stop here. Joshua, oh wow. And on the putback, count the basket. Jake Hurley will go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play. And I bet you Arlington wishes the original call was made. Looked like some contact on the original drive. The officials allowed to play to continue, and Hurley picks up the loose change and scored. And that foul goes against Sam Swift. And quickly his fouls have added up. Sam now has 4. So he has to be careful for the final minute 46. Hurley, that was his first basket of the game. Unable to complete the 3-point play, but now the ball is loose. And spot ball, last touched by Arlington. It's Belmont ball.
Yeah.
I guess by the time Hurley had touched it, the ball had already been out of bounds. Last touch by Arlington.
I think that's the right call. But Hurley, he was still fighting for it after it went out of bounds.
Yeah, no, he was jacked up, man. He just had a big basket, and he's playing 100 miles an hour. Good for him. Both teams want this one tonight. Belmont by 3. It'll be a monumental upset as Belmont came into tonight's game with only 1 loss and 0 in the league. Yadimian strong to the basket, lays it in. Danny Yadimian with 16 fourth quarter points, and he has been the difference here. And the Marauders lead by 5. Gascoigne, Swift. Arlington doesn't have to hurry, but time is starting to be a little bit of a problem. McNamara's 3 is short. Gascoigne
nice
rebound.
Pass.
Oh, he tried to get Joshua underneath, who was wide open. McNamara. Going to be Corrales. I thought he was going to take that 3 coming up on the final minute. Arlington being patient. It's a 2-possession game. Exactly 1 minute to go. 15 on the shot clock. Inside to Gascoigne. Oh, no! Ball out of bounds. It'll be Belmont ball. Oh, no, now they're going to change it to Belmont ball. Excuse me. It looks like from up here that when Gascoigne went up for that shot, it was a little bit of a wrap-up.
Well, it did. And I thought he was going to give the ball back to Arlington for that reason. Again, no call, down by 5. You're going to have to start thinking about fouling.
I'd much rather had James Gascoigne at the line for 2 free throws of a 5-point game than Belmont ball. Big non-call there. At least from our vantage point, it looked like there might have been some foul, but of course, that's been the case both ways. High school basketball, that happens 100 times a game.
Right. No, and they have been letting luck go on either end.
Yeah, absolutely. The initial signal by veteran official Dave Engelson was that it was Arlington ball, but he corrected himself, and it is Belmont ball. They have a full 30 on their shot clock and a 5-point lead, so Arlington needs a stop. A steal would be preferable, but Belmont miss Arlington can't afford to give up any offensive rebounds. Arlington now with 16 fouls, so the next one they commit will put Belmont in the bonus. But,
and what do you think? Do you think that they'll play this out, or do you think they'll foul? So
I don't think they'll foul yet.
Okay.
No. But let's give some props to Danny Ardemian. My gosh, he was held to 4 points through 3 quarters, and he's erupted for 16 here in the fourth.
Yeah, no, you got to give him a lot of credit because he was upset with everything earlier on. He composed himself. Once he hit that first 3, he got going.
Yep, and he hit 3 more. I think he hit 3 in a row at one point, and 4 out of 5, perhaps, maybe even 4 in a row. Because he hit that other one.
3 in a row from the same spot.
Same spot, and then he came over to this side, closer to us, and hit that one. See if Arlington can get a steal on the inbounds. They cannot. Ardemian now in the front court. Triple team. Oh, Arlington wants to travel. They don't get it. No, definitely wouldn't foul. Now it's playing great defense. Triple team here. Ardemian gets himself out of it. Nice passing by Belmont. And now, see, I don't know if I like that.
You're taking 20 seconds off the clock. You might as well see if you can get a rebound.
And it's Sam Swift picking up foul number 5. And he had the shot clock. It was down to I believe 9.
It was, yeah.
So it'll be a 1-on-1 situation for senior quad captain Ben Siraji. Arlington using the full allotment of time granted to them after Swift's disqualification. James Gascoigne back into the lineup. Arlington with 2 timeouts remaining. Hoping for a miss here by Sarawaji. He accommodates them with the miss. Arlington now needs to push.
30 seconds left.
2-possession game. Don't need a 3 quite yet, but if it's there, they'll take it. McNamara has Gascoigne in the corner, gets bottled up. Joshua to the hole, and they're going to get a blocking foul. And let's see if they're going to determine if Jelani was in the shooting motion to put him at the line. Let's see. No, it's going to be a possession foul. Arlington ball on the baseline. Shot clock is now off. 17.5 seconds remaining. Arlington trailing by 5.
Yeah, you need a quick shot here.
Yep. Gascoigne kicks it out to Nick Corrales. He fakes the 3. Now he takes a step back and it's blocked. Gascoigne for 3. Hits! The timeout Arlington. Big bucket there by James Gascoigne, giving Arlington a little bit of life with 8.4 seconds remaining. And the Spy Ponders trail by 2 when Arlington takes a timeout.
All right, well now, even if you don't get a steal, they hit only 1 of 2. It's a 1-possession game.
Gonna need a missed free throw, whether it's the front end of the 1-and-1 or the second. Because Belmont goes to the line and hits 2, that'll pretty much do it. And Arlington does have life here with 8.4 seconds remaining. Belmont has 1 foul to give. So if Arlington were to get a steal, Belmont can go that route if they want. I think Arlington would really do their best to try to get, if they can, get a steal on the inbound and an immediate foul. I'm sure Belmont's going to do everything they can to get the ball in the hands of the Ardemian. I'm sure he's a good free throw shooter. And that's the one person Arlington should really try to deny getting the ball. Hope somebody else gets it. Misses a free throw. Coach Bowler still working. Official Dave Engelson over there in the corner.
Wow, he feels like they've a couple of non-calls late in the game, not just the one on James, but one earlier, too, he thought he had. Oh, that travel on the Ardemian, too, that he thought was a travel. Okay, here we go.
The line signs grand on the Arlington lineup for defense. Nice little play here. Belmont uses the baseline privileges. They get it in. Arlington's got a foul right away. Where are we? Oh, no.
Got a foul.
Creepers. That took a little bit too long. And unfortunately, it ended up in the hands of Ardemian. Belmont tried to run the baseline play, which was legal after a made basket. And 1-on-1 situation, they got to get James right back in here. 3.5 seconds remaining. So that play took almost 5 seconds. And the original person that got the ball for Belmont was not Ardemian. And it would have been nice if Arlington could have got the foul. I think it was 25. Minakazi that got the original pass. But now the senior quad captain This is what he gets paid the big bucks to do. 1-1. Hits the first. So this is the one that's going to pretty much seal the deal. Danny Ardemian, as the student body cry doesn't make any more noise, and he finishes the job. Now Arlington will take a timeout. Their only hope here is if Belmont is not smart. And if I'm Belmont, I say just let them inbound the ball, let them do whatever they want to do. Arlington out of timeout, so Arlington can't stop the clock, whether they hit a 2 or a 3. The only thing Belmont could do, which would be crazy, is if Arlington attempts a 3-point shot and they commit a foul.
Right, so they're not even going to be near them.
Now,
and
Coach Pritchard been around too long to allow that to happen, so barring a Miami miracle, it's going to be a hard-fought loss for the Spy Ponders here on senior night.
Geez, they played well. They had a good strategy tonight. And again, I got to give credit to Ardemian because you were wondering where the points were going to come from for Belmont, given the way the game had gone. And we found out their star stepped up.
He averages 23 a game. He ends up with 22. And we thought it was going to be one of those nights where maybe the fact that Arlington plays him well over the years defensively, maybe it was in his head a little bit. But then, as you mentioned, Steve, he hit that first one. And then the floodgates opened. 18 fourth quarter points. It's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. And so now watching this, Donald, I really hope we get a home game for the tournament because you hate to have your last home game be one that you lose.
Yeah, right. That's true. A long pass there, tipped away, and that will do it for the game tonight. So Belmont now 1 win away from a perfect season in the league. I'm not sure who their last game is against, but they improved to 15-0 in the Middlesex League. Spy Ponders with this loss dropped to a record of 11-6 overall. They dropped to 10-5 in league play with 1 game remaining at Reading. Well, we run down tonight's scoring summary. Ben Sarawaji had 4 points. Daniel Saradurian had 9. Tim Minacuzzi with 7. Jake Curlehy with 2. Preston Jackson Steve had 11 points, 3 killer threes during the course of the game. And besides Ardemian, he was a factor, Ardemian with 22.
Yeah, Jackson Stevens a real unsung hero in my mind for Belmont because every one of those threes was important for them.
Ron McPhee did not play. For Arlington, Nick Corrales had 2. Stephen McGilvery had 6. Jelani Joshua with 7. High point people for Arlington tonight, James Gascoigne with 16 and Brendan McNamara with 20. Great effort here by the Spy Ponders, but they come up a little short.
Yeah, and they executed the game plan. They just got away from them in the fourth quarter there, but a real good effort. And they've got to take that into their next few games and try to find a way to win 2 out of 3 down the stretch.
So for Arlington, this is the final regular season home game. We look forward to covering Arlington come tournament time, whether it be here or on the road. But in the meantime, just in case, I want to just wish the 8 Arlington graduating seniors the best of luck going forward. Nick Corrales, Will Clifford, Line Symes Grant, Joey Pazia, Stephen McGilvery, Sam Swift, and Jelani Joshua. Been a great 4-year run here for the seniors. Of course, not all of them played 4 years, but particularly I want to talk about James Gascoigne, who finishes his career at the regular season here at the Tozlowski Gymnasium with only 2 losses in 4 years. Pretty remarkable stuff. Yeah,
just a remarkable career. I remember when he came up as a freshman, and it just goes by so quickly, Donald. These 4 years have flown, but he had a great career. His name's going to go up on the wall there. And he's been a part of 2 Middlesex League championships in his time here. So really an outstanding career overall for James, and I wish him all the best at Emerson next year.
We wish the Spy Ponders luck in their final 3 road games of the season. Look forward to seeing them come tournament time. For my partner, Steve DeCourcey, and our cameraman, Alex Van Thong, I'm Don Phelan, reminding you once again, the final score here tonight, Belmont 54 and Arlington 50.